And welcome to CRF4 Round 8 of Singapore. You join us around 12 minutes, I think, 9 to qualify. Yes, 12 minutes into qualifying. Gattis Nicholson, on his debut in CRF4 as a main driver, is on pole for the time being with the two AlphaTauri boys of Apex and Turbo that are both the guys that are leading the championship right now in P2 and 3. Which is good to see them up there, of course. And then the other challenger of Jack down in P6. As of now, he's definitely going to want to improve on that lap time, and he's actually over a second off pole right now. So that's not great news for him for the time being, but I'm sure he will try and improve that throughout the rest of qualifying. Let's now jump on board some drives if it is going to let me. What I'm using. My keyboard, my mouse, no, not my keyboard, my mouse. Shit, no, yeah, my keyboard. Fucking I'm waffling. To maneuver. So sorry if I'm a bit slow, just getting used to all this. So we've got Big Bambowski on an outlap right now. Looking on board with Mike, who looks like he's going to another lap. No, he's not. He's going to be pitting in. We have Halan, who's now coming into the final sector, and will be finishing his lap up for the first lap on the board for the Aston Martin man, rounding the final corner, and this is going to be up to P14, so he's obviously going to want to go for a quicker lap than that. Just looks like maybe a little mistake has happened during that lap. Let's go on board with Crumpets though. He's coming towards the end of his lap. P12, definitely going to want to improve on that after his good qualifying last time, and he's in P9. For the time being, we have Smithy going on an outlap, so he won't be. So it's going to be Alfa Romeo. Brownest Buns, who's going to be the next person to set a lap, and he is on a bad lap for the time being. So we'll follow on board with him. Now he's going to come into the final sector. Now, for this year on the F123 game, and in real life, they obviously do not have the twisty final sector, which I'm very glad about personally. I think it's going to obviously open up some more overtaking opportunities down to this corner, and it's just a straight line into the final chicane and up to the final two little kinks before the straight. But he is going to be boxing. No improvement there for the Alfa Romeo man. We're going to go on board Andy Ring though. Looks like he's going to be boxing as well. So we've got the AlphaTauri, next one to round the corner. So I think he will be possibly one to go. Let's go on board with Turbo here. So he's one to really watch. This is going to be his last laps coming into turn one. He's going to want to take most of that apex on the inside, trying to make it around there without having an invalidation is so crucial. Getting on the power as early as possible, making it round there, is making the line as tight as possible at the 50-meter board, turning in right, opening up the track as much as possible, using as much track as possible there to gain as much speed. Coming onto this straight where you're going to gain a lot of time. Coming down to here, just before the 50-meter board, going to want to go right over that curve as he does, not all the way over, just making sure he doesn't beach the car. Through there looks really clean at the moment, not too much wheel spin as well. Coming now around here, going to want to take as much speed again, like the first straight. Now coming down to the really technical section, 50-meter board, braking, clipping the curb on the inside. Going to want to bring the car right to the left-hand side to then bring it to the right, not going over the curves, keeping it safe for the time being. And just where that little wall opens, that you want to be on the brakes heavy and hard, not locking up. And now onto one of the two back straights. Just after the 100-meter ball, braking. You're going to want to run this as far as possible, but don't invalidate that lap. Go over that white line, otherwise you will invalidate your lap. Coming down to the final two corners, you're going to want to brake just before the 50-meter board, I think. Yes, he does. Coming now into here, just clipping both curves, but not going over them, otherwise you will get too much over rotation. Now coming into the final two corners, little lift, and now going to be full power to the line. Where's it's going to be the Turbo Sphinx, and it's going to be a slight improvement. It looks like, but no big improvement. That also looks like Smithy maybe. Either Jack or Smithy has made a mistake there on their laps. So let's drop back onto the guys coming on to do their final laps. So we've got Mike going on to his final laps. So let's go on board with Gattis. Let's go on board with Gattis. He's on it. I think he's. Oh no, okay, right. He's slowing down. So this lap wasn't good enough. He's going to want to go for another one, but he does have this gap. So let's actually go on board with I think, yeah, let's go on board with Alice Kuna. So he's going to be the first one at the top couple to set a lap. Or was it lap right down? No, he won't be, I don't think. So, yeah. This will be the first one. So, coming through the middle sector now, as I said, really technical part of the track. You're going to really need to gain as much time through there as you can gain a lot of time, and he could really bring himself up towards that top 3 group, as there is quite a significant gap between 3rd and 4th right now. That's purple through the 2nd sector. It only looks like he's 1 or 2 tenths up there though, so that may be a mistake by the game. I'm not entirely sure. Coming now into the final chicane, get a lot of time through here, but doesn't want to risk it too much. Slightly keeping the inside and the outside curbs there. Now coming to the final 2 corners, where is he going to put this car? Is it going to be into the top 3 for the McLaren of Alice Kuma? And it's not. It's going to be a really big improvement just behind Turbo, so a really respectful lap there, but nothing to be improved on. We don't see, I don't think there's anyone there coming on 1 lap. Let's go on board with Crumpets. He's going to be doing, so he's not doing a lap either. So Mike will be the next one to come round at the final corner, set his lap time, slightly missing that on the inside, but hitting it on the left side. Is he going to be able to promote himself into the top 10 for Mike? Obviously reserving here, so it's just getting some lap times in. There's an improvement, but no improvement in positions, unfortunately for him. Let's go on board with Jack, though. Coming up to line, that's P4 for him, just behind Turbo, so that's no improvement for Jack, and he's only going to be starting the race in P4. Polo, coming to the final corner now as well, is going to put his car in P8. No improvement in positions there, but Apex to the line. Where's he going to put the car? There is a slight improvement, but nothing there again, and Gattis looks like he may be able to take it, but it doesn't look like he's improving on his lap. He doesn't, but I think he should be safe. Unless Labratdan can do something here, which, considering his percentage, does not look likely. He may be pulling into the pits, and he is pulling into the pits, and no improvement for him. So that is your end positions, unless the Alfa Romeo of Brownest Buns can do anything about it. But P9, I very much doubt it, but you never know. Anything can happen here. Rounding the final chicane and coming up to the line, pushing as hard as possible. Can he make it at least in that top 5? Be a really good lap if he could. That's going to be P8 and a good improvement up to P8, and I think realistically the guys ahead of him are very quick, so really putting himself in that position to really challenge and maybe a top 5 position towards the end of the Grand Prix with Gattis Mikkelsen is our pole sitter. Top 3 all power, all from the Red Bull, either main team or junior team. I think we've seen that enough this CRF4 Championship, as Jack used to drive for Red Bull, and they were really them, Apex, Turbo, and Jack have been the dominant forces. But Gattis may be able to get in the mix of these guys for sure. Right, let's hope. Let me just check. Just get the chat up just so we have it there. There we go. Oh, rest on my fun set now. Anyway, let's go through your order for you guys. We've Gattis Mikkelsen in P1 with a 28.679. Very, very solid lap from him. Still 8 tenths. Or still... no. Yeah, sorry, 2 tenths. 2 tenths behind Apex Capes, and then 5 Turbo Sphinx, so whopping 5 tenths off that pole lap of Gattis's, and Jack is just under 6 tenths away. Jack, I swear I didn't say no improvement. I think maybe there's lagging on my screen. Alice Kuma P5, P6 Labrador, P7 Smithy, P8 Brownest Buns, P9 is Polo, and P10 is Crumpets. That is your top 10 in qualifying. Sorry if I got that wrong, Jack, but still a good qualifying. You're still in with a chance. I think Gattis just showing levels clearly coming into reserve this race and is 2.25 of a second ahead of everyone in qualifying. But you never know. Apex, all you guys have that pace. You, Turbo, and Apex usually do have that pace. You never know. Alice Cooper might come into it. Reigning in the race for Singapore This is going to be interesting. From how heavy the rain looks, I can't see the racetrack, but this may be wet conditions, wet tyre conditions. Although I do see intermediate tyres in the pit lane of Gattis Mickelson's garage, which is very interesting to see. Yeah, where are we actually? Here we go. Intermediate tyres. It looks like 3, 4, 5 red lights. And hold. Away we go for CRF4 around Singapore in the wet at the moment. Coming down to turn 1, Gattis Mikkelsen looks like he's got a good start. And Apex Capes is in P2 right now. P3, Turbo and P4 Jacks. Everyone's held position on the first couple of corners. It looks like everyone taking it very cautiously at the stop. Oh, there's a big wobble from Apex Capes, almost taking out his teammate. And Jack is through into P2 after that was unreal. Jack making it up into P2 and Turbo is making it to P3 with that massive wobble from Apex Capes. Unbelievable to keep that in a straight line, to be fair to him. And it looks like he's been unscathed with any damage, which is really good to see from his side. There's nothing really going on, but further back with areas battling between Smithy and Mr. Referral Link, and that's Jack with a retirement. What's happened there? What has happened there? Into the wall on the left-hand side. Has he gone too deep? Maybe gone too deep into there and has caused a virtual safety car on lap 1. From P2 as well. Maybe could we have seen a Turbo Sphinx dive bomb? Possibly. I didn't see it though, so anything could have happened there, and that's really unfortunate to see Jack out of this race on lap 1. One of them title contenders, but I think after this race, it's got to be said, he's really going to be struggling to hold on to that championship fight. And that's another mistake. Looks like Apex keeps getting out of shape once again. That's Alice Kuma going round the outside. There's a little bit of contact there. And as Kuma gets pushed off wide, and Brownish Buns coming through the pack now into P4. Let's try and get our things on. Where is it? Details. We've got position change on now. And that's Halan out of the session. Lap 1. And that's another safety car. So these conditions seeming to be very tough for the drivers. We've got Mike, who looks like he's got some wing damage at the moment. Also, yes, he's presumably going to be boxing. We also see Turbo Sphinx, who okay, Turbo Sphinx must have had contact there, and he's dropped back, so must have had. I mean, yeah, he probably had contact therefore with Jack, and that's unfortunate to see from them guys for sure. Let's go back further towards the front anyway, and we're going green fly again. No drive-throughs, it seems like, which is always good to see, because drive-throughs can be an issue with the VSC feature. Which personally, I don't think VSCs are very much needed. I think safety cars kind of bring the race back into bring the race back, and VSCs really only are needed on very certain occasions, but they get used, I think, a bit too much. But there is the Ferrari, and Mr. Referral Link's going around the outside, just keeping out of the wall, I think, there. So it's good to see him keeping that out of the wall, and still within a fight with it for the top couple of positions, as there is a big group right now, other than Gattis, who's 4 seconds ahead, making no mistakes, and just driving off into the distance for now. Smithy dropping down, Mr. Referral Link's getting past him, and that's Labradan now all on the back of Smithy. Has Smithy possibly got damage? There's a possibility there, but what is the camera type? Camera 6. There we go. Let's have a look at his wing. Oh yes, he has got no wing, so I was right. Smithy has got no wing. Clearly lost it, and that is going to be him into the wall, and that is whoa. That's very lucky he didn't just die. Presumably going to be taking a warning there, and that's been Crumpets through as well, so he's going to have to pit for a fresh front wing for that Mercedes car. Let's now jump up into the battle between the McLaren and the Ferrari, coming into the final corner side by side there. Really fair racing, really nice to see, and it's going to be interesting to see if Mr. Referral Link can get ahead of Polo and split that McLaren 4-5 at the moment. Oh, and then just pull out the session. Well, that's going to be an easy move then for Labrat, not for Labrat down, sorry, for Mr. Firelli, and actually will be for Labrat down, as he will be able to get through the field. Also, let's see if we can give him an back. I'll go on board with the driver anyway. Let's go back. Let's go on board with Brown's Buns. Seems to be really, really keeping Apex on his toes right now. 5 positions up. Really good start from him. Also, Mr. Firelli's doing a brilliant job to be in that P5 position. Let's quickly see if we can give him an invite back. Is he going to be here? There we go. Oh. So yeah, there's going to be an interesting one. Are we going to see mixed conditions? Usually we do. So I think that could really spice up the race, but at the moment Gattis really just in his own league at the moment. 5 seconds ahead of P2, 3 laps into this race, and that is Brownspuns all over the gearbox of Apex Capes, almost pushing him through that corner. So Apex Capes struggling with something right now, because he is looking like he's dropping off Gattis significantly, and Buns all the way back from about P8 is hounding him. Hounding him significantly, especially coming through the last couple of corners, and that is going to be Mike making a mistake, it looks like, in the background in Sector 2. But it looks like he has been able to carry on going, which is good to see. Good to see Mike keeping on going. Obviously, he is only he's only reserving in Tier 4, so just getting those practice laps in for Tier 3 on Monday. And hopefully he can bring another good result, as he brought a P, I think it was a P... P3? I think he brought a podium back for Alfa Romeo 2-3 on Monday. Sorry, unfortunately, we did not get a stream of that. Just some issues from our side, or from my side more so. But we will make sure we are back for next week on Monday at 7:30 BST. So make sure you can join us for that. And obviously later this weekend we do have Saturday and Sunday 7:30 BST. Sorry, I'm saying BST, it's GMT now, isn't it? We do have Tier 2 and Tier 1, so make sure to come and watch that. They will both be streamed this week. I can pretty confidently say they will be streamed. I think we do have two commentators lined up, one being, I think it's Fridge and Ryan on duty this weekend. On duty this weekend, so make sure to come and watch us for them. She is very enjoying both them tiers, really showing the best of the best here in CRF. But I'm sure some of the guys here up front, they do have the ability to race in them upper tiers. So it's going to be exciting to see. I think them races at the weekend, and also towards the end here, if we do have any safety car shenanigans, which is very likely, obviously, in the wet and Singapore. The walls are so close, anything can happen. It looks like Mike has had another mistake. Coming to that Sector 2, so obviously struggling on traction. Paul, if you leave, I'll give you another Jack, just try and keep the language down, just in chat, mate, if you can. I know it's annoying, but just want to, obviously, in case any younger watchers are watching, we just want to keep it obviously down, but yeah, it's alright. Oh god, if I just... No, fine. Personally, I don't enjoy Singapore, but yeah, it's very much, I think, especially this section, if you want to have so much lap time, you have to take that curb, like, you have to send it over the curb and it can chuck you into the wall. And I feel like it's, in terms of like how I've driven it in the past, it's very much... It's very inconsistent, that's all I'll say. Like, you can just chuck it into a wall randomly. Nah, so it's all good, Jack, don't worry about it, man. I can understand your frustration, obviously, trying to get yourself back to the championship, but something that like that is really unfortunate to see. I mean, you still got... I think, obviously, you're focusing Tier 3 anyway, so... Just keep your head down and that, and, you might come out with something. It's very close in there still, so, yeah. That's just wet conditions for you, though. The braking points are so rough. Like you can brake earlier than the actual line on the floor, and you can just go. You can understeer. And especially around this track, you don't see that much rain around here, so it's almost like there's no grip there. Anyway, Brown Spun's still hounding the rear of Apex Capes for that P2 position. It's going to be an unbelievable job if he does make it up into there, but with no DRS, he is really struggling to get past, but he's all over the rear of him now, and he's going to be looking for a move round the outside. And is he going to be able to make that move happen? No, he's going to sit behind. Maybe give the switchback. He has gone with the switchback. Apex keeps not getting the line. Alfa Romeo around the outside, but the AlphaTauri breaks really late and has contact with the wall, and he's going to drop. Whoa! No! Oh. Unfortunate for the Alfa Romeo. Damage for Apex. Is he going to try and stick that, or is he going to be an early pit stop onto another set of intermediate tyres? And yes, Brown Buns does not have damage. He is going to be chasing Apex. He's going to be able to look for a move either next lap, if Apex does not pit, or if Apex does pit, it's a free position for him. So yeah, already 5 tenths behind, clearly showing there's a lot of understeer in that car, and I think Apex may be pulling it into the pits now, and he is pulling it into the pits, and all that was very close to Brown Buns almost crashing into the side of Apex Capes. Oh dear, Mr. Fear releases that, and that's going to be a safety car. Yes, it is. I saw that in the background. Wow, obviously losing the rear end, and that is him into the wall, and that is great news for Apex Capes, for Turbo Sphinx, for Pias, for Smithy, for NSC Vickers, and MJW. All got affected by that. And no, it's not going to affect. It's not going to be good for Pias. He's got to drive through. That's unfortunate to see from Pias. You're going to need a safety car to bring him back in it. But this is also bad news for the likes of really the top 7 here, who are in a really good position to secure some points, but it's going to be really brought all the way back up. Apex Capes, however, I mean, I say it's going to be positive for him, but he did pit a lap early, and the safety car came out about midway through in the pit, so he might not get the full advantage of that safety car being in that safety car out. So I mean, I think he'll probably come out with that wing change. Maybe it's going to be around Labrat-Dan and Crumpets. I think it's going to be really interesting to see where those guys come out through. Yeah, it's wet conditions at Singapore, Jack. To be honest, like that just happens. It's a tough draft. It's a tough track to drive. With these wet conditions, I've driven around here quite recently actually in the wet, and I had 0 grip, so not just very unfortunate to see those guys DNFing, as I know it is a really big challenge. I think also on this year's game, I think the difference between F122 and F123 in terms of wet driving is actually quite similar, and F122 was obviously very tough in terms of traction compared to now, where we're very much so like, what was I going to say? Yeah, in terms of now, where no traction control feels a lot more like medium last year, so which personally I think has helped me a lot this year, kind of adjusting to the game as I've kind of made that transition from full to medium to none in quite a short period of time, but definitely has improved me recently. So I mean, if you put that time in, get some practice done, it can really positively affect you. Anyway, Crumpets. Let's just drop back onto them. We have Crumpets coming out the pits now, and Apex Capes is going to be trying to beat them to that pit lane line. Apex Capes coming around the final corner. Is he going to push it now? I think he will do. So just get past and then drop with his Delta. He does make that happen, and he is ahead of Crumpets and Labrat-Dan. Labrat-Dan does look like he's lost a position there, which is unfortunate to see. With Labrat-Dan, Andy Ring in P8 and P9 looks like it's going to go to Turbo. Fresh set of tyres for them. So the only driver who's not boxed for a fresh set is Polo. So he thinks he can't get to the end, I'm guessing, or he knows that it's going to go dry. Either or could happen. Hang on. What the hell? I sound so... I sound like a 12-year-old? What the heck? Wait, hang on. Let me reset my mic. Okay, right, cool. I sound like a 12-year-old for a second. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Oh, Apex Keeps and Crumpets having a little race in the safety car. Interesting stuff. Oh, Crumpets having a 5-second penalty. Has he got damage maybe to his front wing? Doesn't look like it. I don't know what's happened there, but Crumpets and Apex Keeps have clearly just had some damage between each other. Is this going to mean anyone has to do box? No, it doesn't look like it. So maybe some side-on contact there. And that's not good news for Crumpets and P6 right now. He's going to have a 5-second time penalty to his name. Which is definitely going to really hamper his enter his race. And he's going to have to make something happen. And that is him letting through Labradan. What is going on? He was ahead of Labradan. And he tried to get ahead of Apex Escape. So I don't know what's transpired there, to be honest. Are we going to see them Williams and Mike catch up though here? He's half a lap behind, and I think the safety car will come on this lap. Oh no, actually, it might do another lap. But he is going to have to hurry up. He is going to have to hurry up if it is for next lap, because he's half. Yeah, he probably won't even catch it for this next lap, so he's going to have to hope it's another lap after this one. Oh, just hang on there. Yeah, so the Avatarium have dropped into P5 and P9, and the two McLarens have taken their spots now in P2 and 3, and they're looking at like for a pretty decent result. I mean, I know Paolo is obviously on those 8-lap-old Inters, but he may have played the strategy well, because you never know, the rain could stop, or it could get heavier, or something could happen. And he might have played this to perfection. As we know, though, the fresh tyres usually on this game are so powerful, so he may drop back very quickly if it does not give soon. That's PS and Turbo Sphinx changing positions. So we may have just seen a Turbo Sphinx spin, possibly through there on the safety car, just getting on the power too much, and that might have caused that. It does look like, oh, that's 5-second penalty for PS. What is going on? Lots of penalties going on right now. It does look like there's going to be another lap of safety car. Oh, this seems like an eternity. Oh. Anyway, make sure. What was I going to say? Well, thank you to our sponsors also, obviously promoting the CRF brand and the CRF League. We really do appreciate it, and we would appreciate any of you guys watching, or anyone in the CRF F1 community, to take a look at the sponsors. We do have the likes of NordVPN, Exidax, Pitlane Prince, Fiverr, Dubby, Rogue Energy, more than that. And we do have our referral links and discount codes in our community service, so make sure to come and join that too. And if anyone out here is obviously watching, make sure if you are looking to sponsor, give me a DM by joining the Discord. I am usually number 1 or 2 on the Discord member list, so just give me a DM, and obviously we can talk about stuff there. So yeah, if you're interested, give me a DM over there for that kind of stuff. Also, coming into the next couple of weeks, we do have obviously the last couple of rounds of our season championship, which is going to definitely be spicing up in the fight in pretty much all of our tiers. There's a very close at the top and in the middle of the pack. Safety car is also in this lap. And yeah, make sure to come and join for the last couple of rounds up until just the week before Christmas, I think, is when we finish. We also have, on the ACC side of CRF, we have, oh, that's backing up. That is very interesting. That was very slow. Might have to be looking at that from the FIA. We do have 10 Hour Suzuka happening next weekend, 25th of February. No, what am I talking about? Not February. November. And on the 9th of December, we also... And yes, on the 9th of December, sorry for the delay, on the 9th of December we also do have our 24 hours of Spa, running for the CRF Motorsports brand. That is going to be a big race as well. It's got a $150 prize pool involved, 82 teams entering into that event at the moment, which is really going to be an interesting one and really spicy one to see. And that's the McLaren going to have a spin, half spin, and that's going to possibly contact with the AlphaTauri Apex Escapes. Doesn't look like he's got damage though, and he's going to be trying to go down the inside. They've morphed into each other. No, that's just internet from my side, unfortunately. Sorry about that. And that's going to go through, and that's the McLaren. Who's going to be spinning out? I'm not entirely sure who left space or not. It was a very awkward one, but Paolo leaving his nose in there may have caused that to happen. Unfortunately, from his side, and he is now dropped from P3 all the way down into P12. Gas Mikkelsen, P1 right now. Really, extending that gap once again, showing that dominance. And LS Kuma in P2, with Brownest Buns in P3. Apex Capes made his way up into P4, with Labrat down in P5. Crumpets P6, Andy Ring P7 being challenged now by Tabas Sphinx, who's maybe going for a move into this corner, as we're going to see more overtakes into here. He is going to go down the inside late on the brakes, and he's going to make that one work. And it does look like Polo may have had contact. Here we go, though. We're going to be still side by side. The Haas driver down the inside into that corner. Andy Ring does stay ahead for now, and that is going to be NFC Vickers looking for a move on Smithy, but NFC Vickers do not have the room. Polo does look like he's out of it, may have locked up too late. I know he's got wing damage. Mike looks like he may have had contact with Polo as well, which is not good to see. For them guys, they're going to really drop off and then once again be hoping for a safety car towards the end of the Grand Prix. Labrat Dan holding his own in P5 right now, however he has got Crumpets 5/10 behind him, and we have this battle also with his teammate of Labrat Dan, with Andy Ring, Turbo Sphinx and Smithy, and even on the back of that, and because that's Crumpets out of the session. That's another safety car. And that looks like he's hit the right-hand side of the wall and has gone into the middle of the track, and that's definitely a safety car being deployed, and that's going to neutralise the race again and bring those guys back who have had incidents back into the running of things. It's going to be interesting to see how people are going to take this. Alice Kuma, I'm pretty sure was a does he have a 5-second? Well, we'll see in the pits now, if he does pit anyway, because, like, they're only on 4 or 5 lap all time, so if it's to the end, it wouldn't surprise me if people pit here. Intermediates to the end is definitely possible from this point, so is the call to make that stop happen, which is possibly quite possible. Gas is not pitting. Is Alice Kuma going to be pitting? No, he's not. So both drivers staying out for the time being. We have Brownest Buns staying out, Apex Kids into the pits, with Labrat Dan carrying on, and Andy Ring on his way in, Turbo carrying on, Smithy into the... No, Smithy staying out, and SC Vickers coming in. Pias, Mike and Polo have pitted, so Pias may be the only one who is going to pit. Wouldn't surprise me if he does. Just want to be careful on that safety car Delta, as he did get a drive-through. I'm sure PS has got a lot of drive-throughs for Delta times, which is very odd. But yeah, is what it is. I think the one to watch now will be Apex Capes, how he does from that P7 position. He's only a couple of spots off P1 as of now. So that is going to be one to look at. Those guys really behind on these fresh tyres, how much pace they're going to have in them tyres, and are they going to be able to challenge for them front spots, especially on the podium. PS does also come into the pits. It looks like. Right, I'm just gonna mute up until the safety car's in, just to give my voice a little rest. But I will be back for the safety car restart. I'm back. Just getting started, and Gas has made that gap work very quickly. Getting out into that lead, and it looks like everyone's followed suit for the time being, and no major crashes towards the rear of the pack. Let's drop back to Brown's Buns, who's going to be battling now. Actually, let's drop back to Apex Capes to see how he does. Moving through the pack, I think, because he will be the main man looking for moves. Apex going for a move now, but he's backing off, knows there's no option to go for a move there. Sorry, right, yeah, Apex Escape's going for a move on Smith. He's going to look for one down around the outside now. He's going to try and whip it round the outside knock. It's going to be very close to the wall. Doesn't look like any contact was made, which is good to see. And in the background, NFC Vickers getting past Andy Ring, and that is going to be a clean move done for Apex Capes. And he's now going to be all over the back of his teammate Turbo Sphinx. Got a little gaps forming now at the front with the front three. 1.2, 1.3 seconds, all split up between. Who are we actually missing today? We're missing... Well, that's Apex Cape's being let through by Turbo, so some teamwork being done right there. Good to see those two other Tarrymen. Even though they're both battling for the championship, Turbo knows Apex has got the pace. It's battle for one of the lead positions and wants the best for the team, so good to see there. Turbo backing off, even though it's for championship, for the technical drivers championship concern. He's going to let Apex go through and now battle the guys ahead, as he definitely has a lot of superior pace right now on them fresh intermediate tyres. Yeah, so we're missing a Ferrari driver to one of the Alpines, one of the Alfa Romeos, yeah, that's what it is. As we saw also, Labrat Dam still staying on the rear of Brownus Bun, so he looks like he's got some decent pace in him. And this is going to make it ever harder for Apex Capes to catch up. He's going to get a little toe as Labrat down the straight, and it won't be... I mean, he's closing up now, but from the distance he was, minimal dirty air at the time. There's also a big battle behind. Let's go on board with that battle. And that's all. That's wing damage. That's wing damage to one of the drivers. I don't know who it is. Does not look like Turbo. Oh, no, it isn't Turbo. It is Smithy, who's lost his end plate on the left-hand side. And then his NFC Vickers looking for a dive. And that's slight contact. And is it going to be the Haas for Andy Ring going to go down the inside? It's this corner. Vickers tries to go around the outside, and Vickers has gone too deep into the corner. It is going to, yeah, reset the track like I thought. And he's now going to be in last position, unfortunately, to see. So they actually go on board, fully on board now with Apex Capes, who is caught catching up a couple of times each lap right now. Yeah, about that half a second, he's going to be looking for that move. And that looks like actually Brownus Burns getting a poor exit off that corner, off the hairpin. And it's very easy to lose a car through there. And that's put Andy Ring all over the rear again of the Alfa Romeo. As a 2 ahead, trying to streak away. Backed. Going on behind, so Smithy is going to boxing. Pias is still following in suit with Smithy. That's unfortunate for you, Mike, man. Honestly, I mean, that throttle has not been nice to you recently, which is really not great to see. Might have to. No, it's tough, but you might have to invest in some new kit if it keeps on bugging you, because I remember I've gone through. Well, I've now gone through 2 sets of pedals onto my 3rd set. I've changed now over to Fanatec, but when I used Logitech, it was very intermittent with the throttle and brake inputs, and I used to get brake flickering a lot, and very minor throttle inputs that weren't supposed to be there, so that may be affecting you a little bit, and I ended up having to actually buy new sets of stuff, so maybe even get a new pedal set. That might do you, possibly. Pias going down the inside of Andy Ring. He's made that move stick, but that is so late on the brakes, and that might have been wing damage for Andy Ring. Not a great executed move from Pias, and that was very... I know he was trying to give the position back there, but that was very dangerous in terms of how he's given that position back while the 2 behind were side by side. And that is another one that may have to be looked at. Let's have a look at if Andy Ring is free of damage. It does look like he is free of damage. Now let's go on board with Apex Capes. Made that move on Labradan, is now all over the back of Brownest Buns. I think he may be looking for a move here, all over the toe. 5/10 back, as you know, maybe a bit too far back to go for that move, unless he goes for a big dive down the inside. No, it's not. He knows he's not Danny Rick figure, and he's going to sit behind and look for a move elsewhere. And there's definitely been a very well played strategy from Apex, but he is going to have to be careful as he does have penalties. Let's have a quick look at them penalties, if we can. Yes, there we go. Let's have a quick look at the penalty situation for all the drivers. So yes, 3 seconds for each. Actually, I'm going to leave them up, as we do know everyone is on those intermediate tyres. So that's going to be Apex keeps looking for that move, but nothing to be done there. I'm sure he will be looking for a move on the next lap. 4/10 behind, really close. As Pias, it's very much all kicking off behind with Pias getting in front of Polo, and NSC Vickers is dropping back, and that is a penalty for Andy Ring, 3-second penalty. But everything is kicking off for the last couple of point positions. Pias making it into P8 after that mistake he's made. He's going to try now to push back on the rear of Andy Ring, who he was originally fighting. Now let's go back on board with Apex Capes, much closer this time. 3/10. A little bit of weaving happening, nothing illegal for the time being. And Apex Capes is going to look around the outside. He's getting really squeezed just on the edge. And that's a little contact, and that is round by Brownest Buns. Nothing wrong on Apex's side. Looks like maybe a little bit of a slide from Brownest Buns, and it sent him into the pathway of Apex Capes, who has actually lost a lot of time to Labradan, and that is going to give wing damage for Brandis Buns, and that is all more good news for the AlphaTaurian of Turbo Sphinx, who's going to be able to gain a place there and get himself up into P5. Apex Kids needs to now break away from Labrador, as that's his main fight. Let's now go back towards NFC Vickers, who gets his move done on Polo, and he's now dropping back into P10 after that early on, after some early issues. He's just surviving the points for now, and he's definitely going to be looking to try and bring himself a bit further up towards the end of the Grand Prix. Oh. I'm just wondering, is this condition going to change at all? Because... Oh no, I thought it stopped raining there, because on that camera that I had, but it's still raining. Yeah, I'm wondering, will we see the conditions change toward the end? Because I'm not absolutely convinced. Them tyres, which are now about... I mean, if I can have a look, I think they're about 15, 12 laps old? 14 laps old. On most of the drivers, they're going to be a struggle to the end, because that is going to mean they're going to have to do, what, 23 laps on a set of inters? I mean, theoretically, that's probably possible, but they are going to be on the end of that lifespan. So, will we see any punctures towards the end if there is no change in tyres? I mean, the other option as well, it's in terms of, like, being safe. Oh god, I'm not doing this correctly. There we go. In terms of being safe on tyres, is that Gattis right now, all the way back to Apex K, so I'm pretty sure will be his main rival. In terms of if he does do another stop, you know, there is almost 15 seconds back to him, 14, 15 seconds now. Is it worth Gattis just boxing for a new set of intermediates, playing the safe game, and just overtaking back into P1? I think that possibly is the strategy for him to take. You know, he's been on them tyres for 15 laps. Maybe able to make a late pit stop for 7 or 8 laps on another set of intermediates. If they only if they are looking like they possibly could. Oh my no! No! Apex Capes into the wall. Apex Capes is into the wall, and that has got to be wing damage for him. It's not wing damage for him. He must have hit that side on, and he's actually living life perfectly, unless he's got some slight line damage, which I think we'll see in terms of performance of the car towards Labrador, because he needs to get away from him with that penalty he's got. And that now really does open up that strategy to go for the 2-stop for Gattis if he is struggling in terms of tyre wear to the end. As now it's going to be a little bit of a battle between Labrador and Apex Capes to get themselves through. Brandis Buns also staying out on that tyre. Let's also go back to them. So possibly going to see Turbo Sphinx going for a move on Brandis Buns, as Brandis Buns does have that damage, so there could be a move here from the AlphaTaurian making his way up into P5. With more downforce, as we know, obviously, if you do lose if you're going to lose a little bit of your front wing, you're not going to be able to go. You're obviously going to lose a lot of aerodynamic dynamics, as the fluid, the air will not pass through your car as streamlined, and you're just going to lose pace down the straights, lose grip, and that is going to affect your lap time significantly, and that is showing with Brandis Buns, who's really struggling right now in terms of, I think, almost even ballast to the car, as the air is not going through his car correctly. I mean, to be fair, we see in real life, though, that drivers who lose their end plates are not affected so much, so it's not exactly realistic, the game, but it is close as possible as it can be for the time being, I'd say. As we do know, I think in Mexico, was it Leclerc did the whole race with a no front end plate, and that really didn't affect his performance. So, you know, maybe there's I think nowadays there's so much money and time and engineering put into all these strategies to make the car as aerodynamic and as quick as possible that, you know, those front wings do very little in terms of, you know, the design doesn't do that much if you add it up compared to, I think, a couple of years ago where the front wings, you know, would have gained you seconds of time if you did chip a little bit off. We do have turbo swings all over right now the rear of Brownus Buns, and Apex has actually dropped off, so maybe there is some very light damage on his car. But that's very possible from his side. Let's now get on board with Turbo Sphinx, who is doing a great job now on those older tyres, and I think getting himself into P5 would be good news for him and a decent result on his side for sure. You know, I wouldn't say it's the correct strategy he's made, but from now to the end, from the safety car to the end of the race, I think he's made good inroads, and this may be a P5 for him, possibly. You never know, it could be more as well. I want to drop back onto the battle behind, but I think Turbo may go for a move here on this lap, 3/10 behind the rear of the Alfa Romeo and almost pushing him into turn 1. Surely something has to give here, and Turbo Sphinx will get through. 3/10 still behind. He's going to want to open this corner up as much as possible and get the run down after the straight, almost going into the wall there, but he's kept it out. But it does not look like the run is going to be quite there. Labrad Dan is about 3 seconds, and the fight's once again all on Apex Capes and Labrad Dan, which is definitely good to see towards the end of the Grand Prix. Let's now go on board with NFC Vickers. He's looking for a move on Labrad Dan. He has made that move, and he is another driver. I feel like he's doing a really good job right now to make his way through the field, and is now in P7, and is now going really pushing to try and catch P5 and P6 as they are battling very hard towards the end of this Grand Prix. Oh, that's almost big contact. Vickers late on the brakes there, almost rear ends the Haas of Andy Ring, but he's just saved that from being a big disaster class from his side. No, Vickers has gone straight on. Another straight on moment for Vickers, and is that? Oh no, he's kept it going. He's kept it going. To be fair to P10, still can secure a point, and you never know, could catch Smithy and Andy Rim with that penalty towards the end. He's just going to have to really push on towards the end of this race. Let's go back on board with Turbo Sphinx and see if it's Kips. Really, I think he's dropping off the back of Labrat Dan, so there possibly will, I think there will be some damage on Apex's car if he is dropping off at the moment to someone with older tyres. So let's go definitely back on board with Turbo Sphinx. 19 lap old tyres. He is going to be really suffering with them tyres, and you know, every single exit of that corner, he's just not getting the grip. And the Alfa Romeo is just getting away. I mean, maybe even his wings. The Alfa Romeo might be not running wet set and Turbo might, so you never know. It could be either way. Let's also just have a just you know, admire Gattis. I mean, 26 laps in, 13-second gap. He's doing an unbelievable job to be where he is right now, and you know, big congrats to him. And that's Turbo Sphinx straight on. Safety car, surely, and that is a safety car. What is? I don't believe it. Turbo could have got a P5 there, and he's binned it, and that could be championship worthy for Andy. For Apex Capes and Jacket. Yeah. Oh dear. That is not good news. Not good news. Apex Capes drive through. Oh, I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it. People aren't pitting as well. Why are people not pitting? Surely people are pitting. They're on 19 lap old tyres. What is happening to Gattis in a... What? Unless Gattis is around the final corner. What is going on? Apex keeps us going straight on. We've got Alpha Romeo, Brownis Buns into the pits. Why are people staying out? It's a clear pit stop. This is going to massively hamper the lead drivers. Labradan into the pit. We've got Pias going straight on to top 4 now. All. Oh, Smithy's going round, so that's top 5 now. All on warnings. I mean, Smithy's on only 8 lap holds. That's more understandable, but the rest are dead. Polo's going round. I mean, yeah, once again, 4 lap hold tyres. Not surprised, but he's going to make his way all the way up. I think possibly into P8 here. He's going to be really pushing it around the final couple of corners, and that doesn't look like Brownis Buns. Yes, he is down into P8. This has really mixed the grid up, and yeah. Wow, Apex Capes drive-through. AlphaTauri mess towards the end, and this is going to. I mean, all the top drivers who could have taken a massive point, a load of points here, and the others could have taken a massive point hit. It is just swung to everyone, and they've all lost it. And now the biggest game. I don't even know who's one of the top. Let's have a look at the championship right now, because someone could gain loads here and get themselves back into the championship, because people aren't going to score here. A lot of the guys at the top are not going to score. So surely... Why have we pinged 3 times? So Smithy, only 10 points off Jack, the only one, is in P5, PAS. Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, I don't think this is going to make much of a difference, but no one's going to gain. Like Apex there, 93 points, he was 10 points ahead of Josh, and is now going to take a massive hit and possibly not score. Massive shame for him. Yeah, oh, it's an unbelievable shame for him. If Jack was in this race and he was still going, this could have been a 20 or like whatever it is, 18-point swing his way. Could have brought this all the way back. He could have brought it all the way back, right on Josh. Just a couple of points behind Josh, I think. Yeah, he's doing a 79. So bad news. Bad news for all the top guys. And this will mean we're going to have a very mixed podium, I think. Could we see the likes of Pias, Smithy, Labrador, anyone could get a podium here. You never know. We've got a lot of the guys on older tyres towards the front for what is going to be looking like either a 3 or 2 lap shootout. I think it may be 2 laps, because I think the two Williams drivers do not have the time to make it to the back. I'd quite like to see, to be honest, 2 Williams pit. Yeah, or Mike to at least pit, because Mike might also have a chance if he goes onto a fresh set of inters now. Drops to P11, sorry, and goes for one last push. Does look like he's going to come in on lap 29, so he may be able to do this if he does push on those tyres towards the end of this lap. Gets within, a couple of seconds, he could box onto another set of intermediates and catch the pack if he is quick to do so. Safety car is coming now, rounding the last couple of corners in a second. So does Mike have the time? To be fair, he might want to just risk it. I don't know. It's hard to say. Is he going to make it or not? Because it might just be worth staying out. Because anything could happen ahead in the last couple of laps. Let's see what he does though. Is he going to be hot pitting? No, he's staying out. He is staying. So yeah, he is going to be looking, I'm presuming, for some calamities ahead so he can bring home a couple of points towards the end of the Grand Prix. I'm sure he'll be letting NFC Vickers through early doors as well. There's no need to really hold him up. Yeah, at all. Doesn't want to affect his race in any way. But we are going to have 2 laps of racing. Intermediate conditions will race. Being a bit of a change, honest. Yeah, being a bit of a change, being very, very interesting. It's all going to come down to this. Looks like Gattis, unless he makes a big mistake, is going to win this race, obviously with the penalty situation, unless we see one of the guys, like, I mean, anyone, I mean, the guys with the new tyres, Brownless Buns, Labrat Dan, Andy Ring, I mean, all these guys that, you know, we haven't seen on the top step, could they bring home a P1? It is very possible. I do think they will be quicker, but are they going to be able to make those moves quickly? That's the big question. Are they going to have that grip advantage towards the end of this one? Let's wait and see. Safety car will be in this lap for sure. We will have 2 laps of racing ahead of us, and there's going to be Gattis to lead them away, and there's going to be Ales Kuma to be the one who is going to be reacting. Let's make sure we don't see any big calamities coming from this corner, as we did see on the last safety car. Looks like everyone is doing their very best to stay with the guys behind, which is nice to see. Yes, okay, right. Let's go on board with Ales Kuma. Yeah, I saw, man. I caught it like last second. That was really unfortunate for you, Turban. You could have gained so many points as well. You'd have been like, because Apex has got a drive-through now, you'd have been right on par to get one of the top results, I think. I think you'd have been, you know, a couple of points behind Apex after this Grand Prix. Anyway, we're going. Ales Kuma got a decent start there, and is only 2 tenths behind the likes of, oh god, I've gone the wrong way. Brownest Buns is out of the session. He's gone straight on into turn 1. Don't exactly know what's happened there. One of the drivers who went for fresh tyres is out of the Grand Prix on lap 30. And this is going to be interesting to see who is going to be able to go through the field. And that, whoa, that Apex Cape's getting well out of shape coming through that corner. He has dropped down to P5. He's being all over the place now with Labrat Dan. Is Labrat Dan going to be able to look for a move? It is possible. Is Apex Cape even going to battle this? Oh, that's the McLaren Apollo looking for a move. Labrat Dan is going to hold on to it. Very good racing by these two. What you'd love to see, really. Side by side, battling wheel to wheel. And now we will actually see everyone getting some points with that DNF from the Alfa Romeo. And there's been no big inroads by the guys on the fresh tyres, though Labrat Dan is really hounding Apex, but he needs to go for a move here. He cannot stick him behind. If he wants to get up the positions, if he wants to get a reasonable position here, he's going to need to go for a move down to this corner. He's going to have to make it. Andy Ring is going to look for the move around the outside of Polo, but I don't think there's enough space there. He's going to have to stick back, go for the switchback on the exit, and that is also looking from the other Haas. It looks like Labrat Dan is going to look for a move, going the inside, going the outside, going back the inside. He's moving all over the track, but is not going to get a move down through there once what a drive through without me crashing. Oh yeah, that is true, man. That is true, to be fair. I didn't think about that. Apex Cape's still going round. Is he going to get DSQ'd for this? Why? How's he not being DSQ'd for that? I thought he got a drive through. What? Hold up. He's got a drive through. How the heck is he still driving? What? I don't even know how that's possible. Is he still driving into the AI? It looks like he is. I don't know what, but I'm watching right now. But he's still going on a drive-through on the final lap. Okay. Clearly bugged the game. Gattis Mikkelsen looks like he is going to get his win though. Here in CRF4 on his maiden debut for Red Bull. Ales Kuma is going to be, it looks like he's going to drop back behind Piastri, who's going to get an unbelievable P2, but for the last position on the podium, it looks like with penalties from Ales Kuma, is there going to be a chance for either Smithy to maybe grab that. But is Labrador going to affect him getting that position? Is Labrador maybe looking for the move round down the inside? Is he going to look for it? No, he's going to back out. Maybe go for a move down to the final chicane if he can. Vickers really trying to close in as well, maybe to take a decent position towards the end of the Grand Prix. Gatis Mikkelson's coming around the final couple of corners, but let's have a look at Labrador going for the move down the inside. No, he's not. He's going to back off. He has that 3-second penalty. He knows there's nothing to risk here. He's just going to stick behind and get a decent finish. As we come over the line now, Gatis Mikkelsen is going to take the win here in CRF4's round 9 Singapore. Alice Kuma P2 on track is going to drop back behind Pias, who gets a P2, and that is going to be Alice Kuma who stays in P3. Whoa. Okay. Everything happened there I didn't even see. Apex Escape's got an unserved 20-second penalty. Which, honestly, I've never seen that before. I thought you had to take it, but clearly you can have an unserved penalty changed to a 20-second, it looks like. I'm sure he may try and get that looked at anyway, but we'll have to see. Anyway. To end off the race, oh, look at that pace disparity, 44.6, blimey. Anyway, Gatis Mikkelsen, P1, with Pias and P2, and Alice Kuma just holding on to the PT. I thought Smithy took P2 there, but clearly, or P3, but clearly he must have a penalty towards the, on that last lap, so that's really unfortunate to see from Smithy. Alice Kuma getting P3, with NFC Vickers P4, Smithy P5, and Labrador in P6, Polo in P7, Mike securing a reasonable P8 there. Andy Ring in P9 with Apex Pips in P10. But if he does not have that penalty, he will finish the race up in P7, it looks like. So anything could happen there. Let's just go down to the bottom of the pack. I don't think anything really changed there. And that will be the end of CRF4 round 9 around Singapore. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. I do apologise if, one, I sounded like a 5-year-old in the middle of the stream because my mic was playing up, and any of the coughing I did do, yeah, just struggling at the moment. But hopefully we will be back strong for CRF3 on Monday. But make sure to come and join us this weekend for the main races, Tier 1 and Tier 2. So, okay, see you soon, guys, and we will be back next weekend for Japan, I think, or something like that.